Hey, this is John Masadi from Elite Personal Fitness. Today I want to talk about the advantages of youth training. Now, almost every single one of our athletes that come and train with us, they're going to be from 12 years old until senior year in high school. We do have college athletes that primarily come in the summer, but majority of our athletes are from 12 to 18. We start at 12 because that's when you're mentally mature enough to kind of take this seriously and then, come in and actually be focused on doing the work, but then also to physically mature enough to then, go from just say your body weight and working on that and moving properly to then adding load to your body. Now, the advantage of this is wild. I used to always tell a story to the athletes when I was a strength coach at West Jenny, and I trained all of the teams there, and my message to them all the time was, because in our area, I was the only strength coach that was a paid position as a varsity coach in the schools. So no other school, had somebody coaching the athletes and coaching them through how to train, what they should be doing in season, out of season, all of the above. And I would talk to them all the time about the advantages that they have, and it was to increase their confidence when going into their sport, because 90% of the kids out there right now from 12 to 18 years old are not training. They're not doing anything. They might be playing their sports a lot. They might be going out and being active, but they're not actually having focus on learning how to run and doing so effectively. And then two, increasing their total body strength through whether it's, it's not just like powerlifting, like squat, bench, deadlift, like yes, those are important, but, single leg strength, pushing, pulling, them doing chin-ups, all the above, just creating total body strength. I would tell the athletes at the high school all the time, I'm like, you guys have to take this serious, because if you guys take this serious, you're going to walk into every single game, match, whatever the sport is, having more confidence because you know that they're not out there training, especially in that 12 to 18 range. In college, once you get to college, everyone's working out. They have, some people are working out harder than others. That's definitely apparent, but each program, for the most part, has somebody, coaching them, teaching them how to lift. But the advantages is really in high school. If you're stronger and you're faster than most of the people on the field, skills kind of aren't really going to be as much of a factor as they would be if you weren't training, okay? So if my athlete, compared to an athlete that's not training, is lining up, say there's a loose ball in soccer, they both start sprinting towards that ball, my athlete knows that within 5 yards, they can take it in 3.5 steps. And that athlete doesn't realize or hasn't been taught that trying to, in acceleration, trying to cover the most amount of ground, the least amount of steps is how you are effectively accelerating. My athlete, if they take 3.5 and that athlete takes 4 steps, my athlete will win every single time. Now, for the most part, nowadays, almost everybody's working on their skill. So it's not that people are so far behind on skill, like, hey, I'm a senior in high school and I'm going to start playing soccer for the first time. That rarely happens, nowadays. Now, kids that are playing soccer, they're all working on skills all the time, but what most kids aren't doing is training. They're not trying to get faster, and they're not trying to get stronger and having overall body strength. The big thing that we're really pushing with these kids is, yes, you're going to have a huge advantage training versus the other kids. So confidence-wise, and confidence is really what we're trying to build and instill in these athletes so that they can go out and compete. Because if you're working on something that nobody else is working on, one, just seeing yourself getting faster, seeing yourself getting stronger, knowing that you're putting in the work 2-3 days a week, you're going to be more aggressive because you're more confident. You're going to take more chances. And a lot of parents come to us and they talk about that of like, hey, my son or daughter is not confident in whatever position. They might be good skill-wise, but then when it comes to this one particular situation, they might, kind of be like, I'm not really going to be as aggressive. I'm going to kind of react based off you. And if you're not a force to be reckoned with, if you're not going out there and being aggressive and taking chances and diving for stuff and sliding and doing whatever you need to do, jumping, you're going to lose, consistently over time versus the athletes that are going to do that. So the advantages that we're really talking about is, one, confidence is probably 90% of the game. Yes, are they going to get stronger? Yes. Are they going to get faster? Are they going to know what to do in specific situations because they're learning how to effectively change direction? They're stronger, which makes them more durable. So yes, they're going to get hurt less often, especially kids nowadays that are doing so much, so many club things or so many practices and tournaments and stuff like that. If you're stronger, you're going to be more durable, and the chances of you getting hurt are going to be less. But instilling the confidence is probably the number one reason why I would say, hey, you need to get your kids doing something strength training wise or speed related to increase that confidence, to just, one, give them just a better experience in their sport. They're going to play harder, they're going to work harder, they're going to do everything better, okay, if they have that strength and that background of, hey, I've been putting in the work. That's what I would tell the kids at the high school all the time. I'm like, you guys are coming in and doing this 2-3 days a week. Like, the other team's not doing that. So when you step onto the field, you should already be feeling that, like, hey, we're going to compete and we're already doing things that you guys aren't doing. So the confidence level, even just as a whole unit, as a team, is going to be higher. And then each kid getting better and better and seeing results over, say, their whole school year, is going to be tremendous for them as an athlete, but also too, growing up, understanding that, hey, if you put in the hard work, you get this awesome result of, one, feeling better about yourself, but then stronger, faster, and then instilling those practices for the rest of their life. Exercise really, people say this about sports, sports are a great, life lesson thing for kids to go through, because, they're going to practice, they're working hard, and they're going to either see defeat or they're going to see a win. And you can learn from both of them, and you feel the benefit of the win, and the loss, you say, hey, we got to go back, we got to practice. It's the same thing with strength training. If you put in the work and you know that you've been doing it, you have that confidence, and you're going to see it pay off in dividends later on. So those are the things that we think are huge advantage-wise for athletes to be training. Obviously, the injury prevention is great. Obviously, them just being faster and stronger is awesome. It's going to help them tremendously in their sport, especially in the JV or the high school JV varsity time. That's where you can really see the difference of who's working and who's not. And then mainly the confidence, the instilling in these athletes and making sure that they're going out and they're competing and they're pushing as hard as they can. So if you guys have any questions on how we do it or what we do for our athletic training, please feel free to reach out and we'll talk more.